Okay, so I'll do welcoming.
Okay.
Hi, I'm Annie.
And I'm Kathy.
And welcome to Raw Yoga Fitness. Today we're going to be doing a pose that is very common, and I'm sure a lot of you have done it, downward facing dog. And though you may have been doing it for a long time, there may be a few things you're not sure, and that these little tips might help you to kind of get into the pose a little better.
So a couple of the benefits of downward facing dog are, for one, it's a mild inversion, so it brings extra blood to your brain, it helps you remember a little bit better, and just creating that sensation of extra blood flow will help improve your thought process. It's also a really good stretch for your shoulders and the back of your legs as well, so it's a full body workout in downward facing dog.
Yes, and you do it a lot in a lot of different yoga classes, so it's a great thing to start with. So today I'm going to be talking a little bit, and Kathy will add into as she demonstrates the pose. We'll be doing it in maybe a little different way than you've done it before. So first, to get into the pose, one of the best things to do is to get into a tabletop position with your knees underneath your hips and your wrists underneath your shoulders. Now, one thing is really important is that your hands are really planted into the ground. When you end up coming up with your hips eventually, you're going to want to make sure that you're creating the most of the force in your palm. Your fingers should not be having that much of it, the force, just the palm. So that's one thing to be thinking about as you're pushing up. Also, you want to make sure that you are keeping a curved back when you come up. So to help establish that, we're going to come up in a different way than maybe you've come up before. So first, she's going to come up to downward facing dog, but she's going to keep her knees very bent, very, very bent. So first, keep your knees bent, and see how that happened right away? Then her back started to curve right away. You're able to get closer, getting your chest closer to the ground to really create that arch in your spine that you're wanting. So then once your knees are bent, you can even keep your downward facing dog like this for your practice, maybe for the first few minutes if you really want to try to get that feel. Or then slowly you can begin to straighten the legs, and you can see that just by bending the legs first and then straightening them, you're keeping that arch in your back. You create that arch in your back. Also, you want to keep your shoulder blades, bringing them closer together on your back, almost like you're bringing the elbows outside of your elbows outside. Keep you moving more out. So again, so she's planting in, her heels are up, a little bit up, and the biggest thing is creating this arch in the back. If you cannot create this arch with straight legs, that's a big tip for today, is keep your legs bent. Because it's better to have your legs bent and have an arch, a nice arch in your back, than to have your legs straight and then not be able to go all the way. So you're kind of like creating a bad cycle. Okay, the other thing I mentioned before about the palms. So when I come over, I take her fingers. I can lift each finger up. You can't really see it, but there you go. I lift each finger up because all the pressure she's keeping in her palms, which allows her to really plant and feel grounded. So, what about you? Ken, anything you want to say about this pose?
No, like I said before, I felt it a lot more in my arms and in the back of my legs by keeping my knees bent. It helped to make sure that I was in the proper form, because if you're not in the proper form, you can put a lot of extra tension on your wrists, and it can cause some injuries later down the road. So by taking these extra precautions in the beginning, you'll help save yourself later.
Yeah. So just some quick tips for your downward facing dog. So go do one, go try it out yourself, and let us know what you think in the comments below. Thanks.
Bye.
Bye.